You're looking at the slate for Turkey Day. Sit on your couch and enjoy. We've got the Redskins and the Cowboys. Let's talk about the NFC East. What's going on there? Who's going to take it? Redskins lose Alex Smith. You guys are talking up Colt McCoy. I'm very intrigued by him. I know that you certainly are. Does the winner of this Thanksgiving game run away with the division?
It feels a little asteroidy. You know what I mean? We talk about the asteroids.
What does that mean?
During the 2016 election, there were people who didn't like either candidate, and they would say, just give me the asteroid. So I also feel a little bit this morning, like Nate said in the break, I feel like this is coming after Vince Carter in the dunk contest. We just watched, and we got to talk about Cowboys-Redskins. I'll say this. The Cowboys better win this division. They better. They better not let on Thanksgiving Day Colt McCoy and Josh Doxson and 78-year-old Adrian Peterson eat that turkey leg in Jerry World. If they can't do that in this division this year, then you got to make some big-time decisions. I know Dak has got job security and whatnot. If you can't win it, the Eagles are broken, the Giants are delusional, the Redskins just lost their starting quarterback. You better win it. That's how I'll put it. And I think they probably will.
I think that the wild card in this whole scenario is still the Philadelphia Eagles. But based on what we saw Sunday, it looked like the Eagles have no bite left. Like, I don't want to ever count out the heart of a champion, but right now it's hard to even keep them in this conversation.
What we saw against Dallas.
It's Dallas at home.
It's terrible.
So by default, the answer is yes. However, there is a long season left after this. Do I think one of these two teams will win? Yes, but will the winner necessarily win? No, the Dallas still has to play the Saints the next week. So that could be a real hard. And guess what? The Redskins with Colt McCoy, they might be just fine because their offense wasn't one of these Chiefs-Rams offenses. They were scoring 16 points anyway.
Still winning, yeah.
They might be just fine with what they've got. So does the winner eventually go on to the playoffs? I can't say that for certain. Are one of these two teams going to be representing the NFC East and having a home playoff game? You better believe it.
And just because Alex Smith is down, that doesn't mean that the Cowboys are a shoo-in to win this game. I mean, let's keep in mind that the Redskins defense, they did their thing up against Ezekiel Elliott. So they're going in this game knowing we stop Zeke, we have a good chance of stopping this offense. But I'll go back to Scott Linehan in this time of year. I said it yesterday. He would always tell us, guys, if we're playing well in November, if we can run the ball and pass whenever we want, we'll dominate any game we play in. And if you look at the Cowboys and what they've been doing, feeding Ezekiel Elliott, getting them going, not just on the ground, but in the passing game, this could be where they separate themselves. Was it rough at the beginning of the year? Yeah. But who cares? Nobody's going to remember September and October when you start playing for implications in the playoffs in November and December. I feel like the Cowboys are going to run away with the rest of this division.
It would be a huge upset if they didn't. This is a team, I mean, the Cowboys facing the Redskins. The Redskins are 3-1 on the road with Alex Smith, Colt McCoy as a team. I talked about the Redskins a lot, liking them being ahead of their division, their run stopping. I feel like I gave them a lot of love. But now you have a team in the Cowboys that are running the ball well, giving Zeke the ball 55 times the past 2 weeks. He's averaging 194 yards a game. That's crazy. They still have the number 3 defense. Which I feel like doesn't get enough love, and Dak's leading game-winning drives. So if you have those 3 things, you should run away with the division. They're doing everything they did back in 2016. The reason that we talked about them so much back then, they found that. They're back there.
And keep in mind, Amari Cooper just got there. So it's going to take a little bit of time for them to get there.
On paper, it should be the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys getting their own way so many times in the history of this last 20 years. They haven't been to the NFC Championship game since 1995, and every year we talk about the Cowboys. They find a way to shoot themselves in the foot. They find a way to eat themselves. They can't get out of their own way. I would not be shocked if they just showed up on Thursday and did not give us what we expect them to give.
Expect more creativity. Yeah, hard to trust. But expect more creativity in play calling. I'm telling you, Amari Cooper just now. Amari just got
suddenly it turns on.
Amari just got there and they threw him on the field. Now imagine what it's going to be like with a month of knowing the playbook. And Scott Linehan saying, all right, now I could put in the entire package for a guy that we spent the first round draft pick.
After watching last night, I know it's a high. Can Scott Linehan even be in the same room as those play callers?
I feel like he went into his room. He went into his dungeon. He said, you know what? I got to step my game up. And I feel like every coach did that. It's like watching somebody with a nice outfit. You're like, you know what? My closet doesn't look good. I got to change the way I get dressed in the morning.
They better, too, because I don't think that whole hand it to Zeke 25 times is going to necessarily work against Washington. Like, they play the run
creative play calling.
well. If you're just going to do this, I think you're going to lose. You better do something.
They held them to less than 40 yards the first time they played each other this year. We'll see if they can get it done. We know the offensive line is going to be huge. We're saying all this thing about play calling. What was their bread and butter? We had Zeke buying them all golf carts in 2016 after that season, and they're back and they're healthy. So that'll play into this as well. What we do know is whoever